Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Camp and members of the committee. Thank you for inviting me to testify on China trade policies as well. And prior to being elected to Congress, I had the privilege of traveling to China several times with fellowship programs through the Aspen Institute as well as the Council on U.S.-China Relations. And as a former member of the Minnesota State Legislature, I authored legislation for new Mandarin language programs in Minnesota schools that are utilized now. And I've been active on these issues impacting Minnesota on a U.S.-China basis for some time and have that perspective. And in Minnesota, hardworking people pour their blood, sweat, and tears into cutting-edge technologies, advances in creating new technologies that save and improve lives. My state, and my district in particular, which is just outside of Minneapolis, has a large medical technology corridor that employs tens of thousands and creates products that save lives worldwide. Unfortunately, our hardworking American innovators cannot make the most out of their trade with China due to some regulatory obstacles and other non-tariff barriers. China is an important market for U.S. medical device manufacturers who exported $1.3 billion worth of life-saving technologies to China last year alone. China is one of our most important trading partners. Unfortunately, the Chinese government is not taking seriously its responsibility to trade freely and fairly with our country and others. The American Chamber of Commerce in China has recently expressed significant concerns that China is moving in the wrong direction and closing its markets rather than continuing to liberalize. And when American businesses operating in China are giving us that signal, Congress should take those concerns seriously. China should not be given a free pass to disregard its international obligations. Infringements include protectionist policies such as subsidies, non-tariff barriers, and discriminatory government procurement. China also imposes significant barriers to trade by unfairly aiding and subsidizing its exports. In 2008, China's average applied tariff was almost 3 times that of the average U.S. tariff. And according to estimates from the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, non-tariff barriers such as import quotas and restrictions on foreign involvement in government tenders were equivalent to an added tax of 9.4%. Medical device companies are also disadvantaged by China's regulatory process, which requires duplicative registration, product testing, and clinical trials procedures for foreign companies. China's focus on cost-cutting in its healthcare reform drive could close the market for the most advanced U.S. technologies. I'm also concerned that China may be backtracking on the improvement it has made to open its economy. American companies will not have a level playing field if China continues to practice mercantilism with its industrial policies. To truly thrive, the country must retreat from its discriminatory government procurement lists, standard setting and tax measures, and investment and operating restrictions in the financial services, insurance, telecommunications, and other sectors. China must not discriminate against foreign companies with indigenous innovation policies. When China flouts global trade rules, the U.S. does have tools to enforce its rights and must do so vigorously to protect American businesses. Exactly half of the trade disputes filed at the WTO, the World Trade Organization, last year involved China. Engagement continues to be the best way to effect change in China. WTO disputes are preferable to unconstrained and escalating retaliations. The prior administration brought 7 WTO cases, and the Obama administration has continued this policy by bringing an 8th case. This approach is productive and must continue. The administration, however, has not been nearly proactive enough. It set a laudable but vague goal of doubling exports over the next 5 years, but has not taken the necessary steps to open new markets for American companies. Doubling U.S. exports will require both enforcing existing trade agreements and creating new ones. The President must provide the necessary leadership to secure our pending trade agreements with Panama, South Korea, and Colombia. And while China is actively pursuing and securing FTAs around the world, the United States is sitting on its hands right now, passing up valuable opportunities to turn the American economy around. China is an important market for U.S. goods, our 3rd largest export market, and if the current statistics are any indication, this market will continue to grow. U.S. goods exported to China are increasing 3 times as fast as exports to the rest of the world. We must continue to advocate for free trade and oppose protectionism to keep U.S. markets open to Chinese products and investments. But to protect the long-term viability of the United States-China trade relationship, China needs to take concrete action to remove export subsidies and other hurdles to free and fair trade. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.